Hello everyone and Merry Meet. This is another Pagan Challenge video. And this topic is how do you view sacred texts? Or, like holy books or just basically sacred texts. I view them as a guideline that could, depending on its passage, guide you to being a better person maybe, but that's not always the case. The only holy book that I have ever read quite a bit of, and I haven't even read the whole thing, there's still a lot more, would be the Bible. I grew up in a Catholic family. I went to a Catholic school, so of course we read out of the Bible. I don't know it word for word. I mean, there's a lot of church-going Christians that don't. It's a big book, and it has a lot of stories and other things in it. The thing is, there is a lot of dark things in the Bible, and things that we wouldn't agree with today, like stoning people. There's a lot of negative things about women in there, about submission and other things that I just can't get behind. However, there are things that speak of love, understanding, forgiveness, which are all very beautiful. The teachings of Christ and other people about those things. There are beautiful passages, in the Bible about love and all that, and, respecting each other and, caring and respecting for your fellow man. And that's where that part comes in about, that it's hard to say that an entire text is one way or that you follow it, because unless you live like people did 2,000-3,000 years ago, you really can't say that any holy book really that's that old that you fully live by, because then you would be stoning people who commit certain sins and other things. And we got to remember, culture influences religion a lot. So there's that. I've read certain Islamic texts which are kind of the same aspect as the Bible. Islam is an Abrahamic faith. And I've read a few, things from the Jewish religion. A lot of it's not too different from each other because, like I said, they're all Abrahamic faiths. Basically, Islam and Christianity they basically descended from Judaism, really. So they do have their differences and they do have different things said, but there's also some similarities there. And all three of them, it really depends on the tradition or sect or culture, etc. And I've noticed that through some of my research. I noticed that certain people interpret certain texts different ways. Take Saudi Arabia, for one thing. Women are not allowed to drive there. However, in other Islamic countries, they can. Some of them even have more freedom than other places. I have been interested in Hinduism for quite some time. And I've read passages of things from the Vedas or the Bhagavad Gita. And some of my first exposure to the Gita was through the website for the Hare Krishnas, or what's called the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And that didn't sit too well with me. I'm sorry if this offends you. If you happen to be a Hare Krishna, that's term I've heard, or Vaishnavas, it's one of those. Gaudiya Vaishnavas, I believe. Excuse me if I'm wrong. I'm sorry if this offends you if you practice that certain sect of Hinduism. But no, just no, 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 no. The founder or the leader, whatever you want to call him, was, there's almost no way to put it, horribly sexist. It really was. All of my research really points to it, no matter what I read on this guy. He believed in female submission and that women were less intelligent than men. And he has his own version of the Gita called the Bhagavad Gita as it is. I read parts of that were, again, quite sexist. I also read another version of the Gita that was not from ISKCON and seemed to be a little bit different in its translations. And some of these things are just little tidbits and everything. However, sometimes little tidbits can have big reactions with people. If I remember right, there is a part in the Gita that describes intelligence as a feminine quality, which was quite interesting. So you see, basically what I'm saying is my view on text is it's all up to the person reading it, how they interpret it. No matter what passage it is. It could be something really small, but they take it to an extreme. Or it could be something really extreme that needs to be extreme, and people really don't do anything with it. So that's just my thought on sacred text. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and thank you for watching.